Hello everyone, I'm Irma Baker. Welcome to our show. It's so great to be with you today. And we have a special guest with us. All our guests are special. You know, we try to bring the best and most interesting people that we can find in our area. And today, if you're getting a little feeling cramped and tied in and want to get out, we have a wonderful place for you to go. And that is University of Akron. Our guest today is Scott Roberts, and he is the Associate Director of Adult Focus at the University of Akron. And today we're going to talk specifically about your 60 Plus program. Welcome, Scott.
Thank you, Irma. It's a pleasure to be here.
I'm so glad to have you. The last time we talked, I think we were talking by Zoom during the middle of the pandemic.
It was a little crazy. Things have started to calm down a bit now, which is nice.
And I think now people are more comfortable getting out, more comfortable being in groups, being able to maybe start up some things we really like to do. And you have wonderful opportunities. Tell us a little bit about Adult Focus and specifically about this wonderful 60 Plus program.
Sure. So Adult Focus is a department on campus dedicated to our non-traditional students. So not the traditional 18 to 24-ish, but those beyond. So I have anywhere from 24 to last year we graduated one of our students at 82. So this year I have another student graduating this year. I think he's in his late 70s. Not that we have that many that are actual 4-credit students. I have 140 60 plus students that were taking classes this spring semester for audit, where they don't have any of the responsibilities of, papers or tests. They can if they want to, but they don't have to because they don't get a grade and they don't get credit for the class. But they can go in and sit in a class that's being taught by a renowned professor on whatever subject they teach on, whether it's political science or art or music, and they can enjoy the class that way with the students that are in there too. So we deal with the non-traditional students, but we have the 60 Plus program, which is a state-run program. We do it a little differently because our office is dedicated to it. I coordinate that program myself. And like I said, the majority of our students come in and take classes as an audit student. So they come in, they can sit in the classes, they can read the books if they want to, they can do the assignments if they want to, but they don't have that stress of, gosh, I got to do this right for a grade, but they can enjoy the information. And my students take a variety of types of classes, like I said, anywhere from the political science, which is popular, to I have a gentleman who loves the philosophy classes. I have a number of people who like to take the art classes because the art, the Myers School of Art does a nice job accommodating them, allowing them in to use the space and to make things and to do things and to have that community that's been kind of missing, especially over the last couple of years with everybody being, sequestered in their houses for this COVID stuff.
So this is get out and learn for the fun of it.
That's right, especially when we're moving back to more in-person classes, so that you can actually come in and participate, and you're not having to fumble around at your house with your computer. You can actually come and talk to people and be part of the class itself. Yes.
And are people who are older, like, well, let's talk 60 plus, are they comfortable in the classes?
Most of them are very comfortable. And actually, our instructors like the 60 plus crowd in their classes because they are comfortable. And not only are they comfortable in the classes, but they're comfortable doing things like asking questions or participating in the discussions. And that's what kind of lacks when you have a room full of 18-year-olds. We lose our Socratic method that way as far as how college is taught when there is no back and forth discussion. Well, as you know, 60 plus crowd, they like to talk. They like to talk about their experiences. They like to learn about what's being taught. And I talk in terms actually to any of my adult students, whether they're 30 or 40 or 60 plus, about the fact that the 18-year-olds, they're not really going to understand how much more they got out of the class because of the participation of the older students. They just think they sat in a U.S. history class. But if they sat in that same U.S. history class with only 18-year-olds, the same questions won't be asked, the same discussion won't be had, and the total experience of the class will be so much less because of that. So there's this added piece that our instructors on campus have started to learn about. And I actually get instructors that say, hey, you know, I have room in my class. If you're doing 60 plus registration, tell them about my class.
Oh, that's a wonderful thing that I don't think we think about, the fact that 60 plus students bring benefits to the classroom. It's not just sitting there and listening or that, but actually participating and contributing to the benefits. Those 18-year-olds are getting something out of this.
They really are, and unfortunately they don't know that, and they won't know that. But they very much so are. They're getting more out of from the experience of our older students. They're getting more of the experience of what's being taught in the class, whether it's a history class or mathematics or the art history classes, I'm trying to think of all the different areas, the philosophy classes. The people that talk in the class produce that kind of education, and that wouldn't happen without somebody who talks in the class, and the 18-year-olds don't necessarily do that.
They probably don't even know what to ask.
That's correct. They probably haven't had any experiences that can relate to what's being taught, especially in a theory class. Sociology, well, sociology talks a lot about how our society works. But if you've just been in high school for 12 years, well, I wouldn't say high school for 12 years, but high school for 4, in that system, you don't really have knowledge of the society and how that works. So when the teacher tells you about it, you listen, you write your notes down, you go, okay. But when somebody talks about it, there are examples, there are things that are used for examples from real life. It's a better way to actually intake that knowledge.
I would think too that there is a benefit of the intergenerational experience for the 18-year-olds in the sense that this is a, do I want to say non-parental experience, where if they've only known their own parents and their friends' parents and relatives, they may not have experienced someone older in this type of environment.
Right. That's a lot of, the younger people get those experiences through their grandparents, Well, imagine your grandparent in your classes with you, and telling you the things that, I still learn stuff about my grandfather. I sit around the table with my mom and talk, and she tells me stuff, and I'm like, you never told me that before, and I'm almost 60 myself. So you get that same situation actually in the classroom now. So it's like bringing your grandparents to classroom with you and then them sharing their experiences, and things go back and forth. It's a kind of a symbiotic relationship because a lot of our classrooms have new technology. So a lot of our 60 plus crowd, they're in person in class because they don't really want all that sit at home on a computer stuff because they're not that great with all that stuff. It's always changing. Well, the young kids are very good at that stuff. So when there is something put on our online platform, which we call Brightspace. So if you have an assignment or a video that's on Brightspace that's part of the class and somebody's having trouble getting to it, they turn to the younger students in the class who can go, oh yeah, you just got to do this and this, and boom, and it works. And so there's a bit of going back and forth in the classroom too, which is really, really nice also.
It does sound like it benefits everybody in the class. Now I wanted to ask you, we've talked about this as auditing. If there are 60 plus viewers right now who are wondering about this, but maybe they wanted to finish a college degree that they had to set aside for whatever reason, is that opportunity part there?
The opportunity is there, but we go off an income level. So your income level has to be within 200% of the poverty level. So the income level needs to be low enough that we can accommodate paying for those classes through the university, because the university would end up paying for those classes. Okay, so there is kind of an income question there. We do an income verification to see where your income lands, whether it's your Social Security, whether you're still working, because I have some of the 60-plussers that are still working part-time things here and there, just to keep busy besides taking classes, and that income is included in there. So we do have like an income limit as to where we would stop and not pay for the classes, but we have, I think I have somewhere in the realm of 13 or 14 60-plus students in classes now for credit because they match the income criteria.
And let's be very clear there. You don't have to have an income, you don't have to match the income criteria if you just want to audit the classes.
That is correct.
That is open to everybody.
That is correct.
But for credit, then there are some additional things. But where could they find out all that?
That's all on our website. If you go to the University of Akron, you can put in the search bar, you can put in the number 60, or you can simply in the bar up on top put a /60, and it'll take you to our website that has it all laid out.
And what about other opportunities on campus? Are there other, should I say, perks or benefits of being part of the 60+ program?
There are, and let me talk in terms of cost, okay? Because this is not necessarily a free program. We don't use the term free, okay? So there is some cost involved. The University of Akron picks up the tuition and the general service fees. So that's a huge amount of the cost of the class. But if you're taking a class on campus, let's say it's a 3-credit class, you have a what we call a facility fee. It's $18.55 per credit hour at this point. So a 3-credit class will cost you $55, $56, I believe, in just that, okay? But other things, you're also talking about the fact that that facility fee allows you into the rec center. So a number of our 60-plussers are in the rec center, whether they're walking around the track upstairs through the winter time, or whether they're on the machines and coming to play pickleball with us, that kind of stuff too. There are, I believe, discounts for E.J. Thomas. All of our shows on campus, through our dance shows, our theater shows on campus, are allowed in anywhere a student would get in with their zip card. The 60-plus who's paid a facility fee for that semester can get in. That means the football games, the basketball games, that kind of stuff too. So there are those kind of perks also. That's quite,
I'd say, a privilege to have access to the University of Akron campus and the rec center. That sounded like a fitness center.
And the rec center has a lot of things too, because not only does it have the pools, it has the equipment, it has the courts, it has the track that's on this second floor upstairs, but they also run classes. So if you want to do a spinning class, which is on the bike, you want to do a Zumba class, they have all these different types of classes that are included in what you pay for when you pay a facility fee for a semester. So there's a lot of things that you can do. I have some students that are there every day in the rec center. I go to the rec center every day, and I see them there. Sometimes they're working harder than I am. I'm like, okay, but yeah, it's a nice place, and the students there are very welcoming to all the ages and very helpful with anything.
So the facility fee, is that something that is it on levels, or is there one flat facility fee? What would it cost somebody who's watching right now and thinks this is really sounding good?
Right, and like I said, the facility fee is based on credit hours. So it is an at this moment is an $18.55 per credit hour. So a 3 credit class would be, I think, $55.56 for that semester. You take 2 classes, you have 6, now you're multiplying that $18.55 by 6, okay? So there is a cost to come into campus. There's also costs involved when you have a class that has certain components to it. I always use the art classes. We have a number of our students that love to do the throwing. I thought throwing was an athletic class when I first looked at that. I'm like, is this in the wrong place? But no, apparently it's when you throw the clay onto the spinning wheel, they call it throwing, and then you make your pottery or your ceramic or whatever is happening there. But there's cost for the materials there. So any of the class costs are part of the fee that the student is required to pay for that also. If you want a parking pass for the semester on campus, that's also your responsibility too, although there's a number of ways. There's places close to campus you can park and walk when the weather gets better. There are places just off campus you can park and pick up the city bus. We have a RU bus, it's purple, that goes from downtown up and around campus. But the city buses with the University of Akron student ID card, you can ride the city buses also for free. So you could park somewhere off campus and just ride a bus in, or you can park at, some of our students that only come in a couple days a week will just park at the meters and find it cheaper to put in, quarters in the meter than it is to actually buy the pass for the whole semester. I think I did that during my graduate work too, so I found it cheaper than buying the pass for the whole semester, so that works too.
Well, that's a lot of benefit. And it sounds to me like this is something for somebody who wants to get out of the house, but to be in a more stimulating environment.
Right. And we are trying to, I had a student in last week actually who was looking to try to find more of a way to be more communal on campus with this group also. Maybe starting a coffee club or something that meets up in the student union, or because we used to do this prior to COVID. We would do this 2 days, and it was in our office, and it was first come first serve. We would open our door, or actually we would start the program at 9 o'clock. We open the doors at 8 o'clock, start the program at 9 o'clock. And the last semester that we actually did it in person, I think there was at least 2 people waiting outside my office at 7 o'clock in the morning. And by 9 o'clock when we started, there were 35 people in my office, which is a good and a bad. It's a good because they all hung out, they chatted with one another. I threw donuts out and coffee out, that kind of stuff. The bad part was it took a little while to get through 35 people, so some of the people hung out for a little while. So now we do it all by appointment. So, you schedule an appointment with me during the week prior to the beginning of the semester. And then at that time, I call, we get your classes squared away. It's good for that piece of it. It's not so good for the communal piece of it. So we're trying to work on that, trying to find a way to have more connection between the 60-plus crowd that is on campus and is taking classes.
You mentioned a couple things a few minutes ago. One was a zip card and one was an ID.
Same thing.
Oh, they're the same thing?
Yeah, our zip cards are our student ID cards. They have Zippy's picture on them, at least they used to. I'm not sure if they still do, but that's the zip card. Everything is a zip something, on campus. So the zip card is your student ID, and it has on the back some of the information like your student ID number, your UANet ID number on the zip card also. So it has some good information on it too.
And that's what gives you access then to all these benefits in addition to access to the classes.
Right, because if you swipe in the rec center tells you, okay, you've paid for this semester or you haven't paid for this semester. So yeah, you go to watch a show over at Dom's Theater, they do one of the dance shows over there. You swipe in over there, and same kind of thing. So the access to like the basketball games, there's one particular place that the students come in. So we come in, you swipe in there, and that's how you get in through those events also. So, yeah.
And you said that even works on the city buses?
Does work on the city buses. They've been working with us for about 6 or 7 years now, as far as using the student ID as a way for our students to get around. So they haven't been charging our students if you have an active student ID card. So that works.
Boy, that sounds like a marvelous benefit. And all these wonderful classes that the University of Akron offers. And people can audit as long as there are open spaces in the classroom.
That's correct. I don't have any classes that are specific to adult focus or this program. I get that question a lot. What are the classes you use for your 60+ program? Well, what we use is what the university offers. And the program is trying to pick up all those seats that are still open in classes. That's why we do the registration the week before the beginning of the semester. That way we see what's open, and then we can slide our 60+ students into those seats in those classes.
So the process then is people make an appointment with you. Is that by phone or in person?
At this point, it's either. When we started doing the appointments, they were all either virtual or phone. But we encourage people to come in the office, and I mean that piece is nice too. We're in this business because we like to talk to people. So having people come in is nice too. But I still do probably 80-90% of my appointments by phone.
So that's very good. Someone can talk to you without having to make the trip to the campus, find a place to park, and all that, because they wouldn't have that parking pass yet.
That's true. But during the week prior to, the campus doesn't worry about the passes. So you can actually park anywhere. And my building is downtown. I'm in the Polsky building downtown. So there's a parking deck that is between Broadway and High Street. And if you come in the Broadway entrance and you park on that floor, in this corner is a walkway that goes across the street and into the Polsky building. Well, it goes right into our floor. You walk in, you walk around to the right, and our office is right there. So, and during that week, they're not ticketing for not having a parking pass. So you can park pretty much anywhere you want to or need to, put it that way.
Boy, that is something really good to know. And what is that week?
Well, it's going to be slightly different, every semester. But for summer, our summer registration is the week of the 8th. Our August, I want to say it's the week of the 22nd in August for the fall. The fall is our biggest draw. There's more people that take classes for audit for some reason for that fall semester than the spring or the summertime. Summertime, obviously, everybody's doing family stuff in the summertime. But the fall semester, we have the most student participation in our 60+ program.
So that means there's a lot of space in the summer.
There is a lot of space in the summer, depending on what kind of classes you want. But that's the push me, pull me too, is we go with what's offered. There aren't a lot of art classes offered in the summertime. There aren't a lot of music classes offered in the summertime because those people are off doing their things in the summertime. Because we have a lot of professionals that teach those classes. So there is a lot of openings depending on what type of classes you're looking at.
Well, it sounds like summer would be a great opportunity to get to know the system a little bit.
Right.
To see, okay, how much of a commute is it? How much walking is there on campus to get where I want to go? So it's a good time to test how valuable, well, obviously it's valuable, but how accessible it is for somebody.
Right.
I think it's marvelous.
It's kind of a push me, pull me too. So I like to use a term from Dr. Doolittle, push me, pull me. But yeah, you're right. I mean, it's a good time, less people on campus to try to figure those things out. But our classes run faster in the summertime. So you're looking at 5-week classes as opposed to a 15-week class. So the content goes faster, okay? And you might have a 5-week summer 1 or a 5-week summer 2, so your class might not start till July. So summertime's a little weird. It's a good time to be on campus because there aren't as many people, but the structure of how the classes run week-wise is a little strange. But yeah, so and we actually have a 3-week intersession, so those classes are going really fast, and they're every day of the week, which a lot of our 60-plussers don't want to come every day of the week for a class. They want, maybe we'll come on Tuesday or Thursday or something like that. But yeah.
Well worth looking into. And I have to tell you this, our time here has gone so fast. So tell us once again, what is the name of your division of the university and how people can get in touch with you?
Yes, I work for the Office of Adult Focus. We're in the Polsky Building, 467. The program we're talking about today is the 60-plus program, where students can audit, and some can even take classes for credit through the university.
And how can they reach you?
I'm all over the web, so the Adult Focus website is uakron.edu/UAAF. That's University of Akron Adult Focus. My email, ssr4 @uakron.edu, or you can reach me at adultfocus@uakron.edu, or you can reach me at 60plus, all letters, 60plus @uakron.edu also. It's on our website. You can search my name on our website and find these things. You can search the website, just putting 60 in the search bar will take you to our 60-plus page that has all this information written down.
So you can find him, you can find this program, and I hope that some of you who are watching today will take advantage of this great opportunity right here in our area. So thank you so much for watching. For RSVP, I'm Irma Baker.
You are watching WCTV, Wadsworth Community Television.